What's up, everybody? It is story time with Josh Williamson. Okay, so I'm going to tell a story about when I was about 16 years old. So let me just set this. I was living by myself, 16 years old. My mom lived in Calgary. I lived in Regina. I decided to not go to Calgary with them. And so I stayed home back in Regina. I had no place to live. So I was kind of bouncing around from place to place. My best buddy, he actually helped me, and I stayed at his house a couple times, and a couple times he stayed out with me. We slept on a school roof. We slept in some kids' playhouse, and we slept on the school grass one night. He ended up staying with me one night. I had nowhere to go. I ended up going back to my old house where we used to live in Glencairn, and which is a part of Regina. And so, but I knew how to break in because it was my old house. Also, nobody was living there. It was vacant. So I opened the window, jumped in the basement, and I ended up living in there for about a week. I threw a couple parties, kind of stupid, kind of broke some shit, still stupid. Anyways, one morning I was waking up. I was sleeping on a roll of carpet. That's really all there was in that house for warmth. So I woke up on this roll of carpet, and I heard not commotion, but I heard like movement upstairs. Like somebody was like moving around. Like I could hear something. And I was like, what the fuck was that? So I went to the stairs, and I went up the stairs, and I'm like, looking around the corner. I'm like, holy fuck, there's boxes in the kitchen. And there was like stuff. I was like, holy shit, someone's moving in. I'm like, fuck. I guess that means I'm over. I gotta move the fuck out. So I ran. I just darted out the back door and was evicted real fucking quick. So I left there, and then I was like, oh shit, now where am I gonna go? So I met this other guy. We'll call him Shane. And Shane, he didn't have anywhere to go either. I don't know what his situation was. I can't even remember anymore. But him and I decided that we're gonna do it together. If we're gonna be homeless, we're gonna be homeless together. So we were like stealing from 7-Eleven and doing stupid shit like that just to get some food. We were walking down an alley one time, and we saw a tent in the backyard. We're like, fuck, man, it's kind of chilly tonight. It was summertime, but gets a little chillier in the evenings. And so I was like, oh shit, okay, let's go in the tent. So we slept in a tent for a couple nights. Like we would just go back there at the end of the day. We do our thing and, steal shit and get food and, stuff that you got to do. Then we were like, okay, sleeping in those or whatever. And then wherever I went, he went. Wherever he went, I went. And if we got a new place, then we would go together until he found a place. And as soon as he found a place, like, oh, sorry, buddy, but yeah, you can't come. It's just me. He said only me. And I'm like, this motherfucker probably didn't even ask. It's like, but it makes sense at the end of the day. I don't even know why I thought that was even going to happen. So he left. He went his own way. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just kind of was roaming around the street that night. Then I went down the alley, jumped the fence, ended up back into that tent again. So I'm laying in the tent sleeping or whatever. I wake up in the morning, and the tent was actually open, the zipper. And I could hear some digging sound. And I looked outside the tent, and there was a woman digging in her garden. I'm like, oh shit, now what am I going to do? So I kind of rolled back for a second. Then all of a sudden I looked up, and there's this freaking Rottweiler came in to the tent where I was and started sniffing me. There was a sleeping bag, and I just slowly put the sleeping bag over top of my head like that. I'm like, holy shit, dog, please don't bite me, please don't bite me, please don't bite me. And then he left. He just went out again, just sniffed me a bunch of times when he's just a friendly dog. And then as soon as he left, the lady got up and she left. And then I heard her go by, and then I heard the screen door go. As soon as it shut, I bolted out of there, ran right through her garden, jumped over the fence, and I never ever went back there again after that. Where did I go after that? I don't fucking know. I don't even remember anymore. Maybe that'll put that into another story. But that was just one of my little life stories as being a teenager and getting into trouble and, fucking life. Makes for an interesting story. All right. Well, that was the story. I'll come back with another story next time. All right, you guys. Take care, everybody. Love you all. Peace.